See, when a Chinese dynasty is starting, example, Sun Yat-sen is known as the modern or the father of modern China. He was well educated and he had a really strong hunger for the downfall of the Qing dynasty because they weren't doing China good. And they were led by some little kid called Pu Yi. He had seen the people suffering around him. He was living amongst the people generally. So he, along with other folks like Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong, fighting because they wanted to see a new China. And every single dynasty in China has been like that. There's been a revolt against hedonistic, uncaring, wasteful, incompetent kingdom or government or emperor. So the people revolt, rebel, and then they kill the emperor. It's usually not the emperor that founded the dynasty, usually the descendant of the emperor, the first emperor of that dynasty. And this is because although the first person of the dynasty has all these reasons to push for China, understand the struggles of the people, and he tries to put these ideas, values into his children, his sons essentially. Over the generation, they lose this, not only because they're not living amongst the people and they don't have the empathy and sympathy and understanding of how the people live, but it's also because they are spoiled heavily because unlike men like you and I who have to go into the world and make something of ourselves, we start from basically trash heap and make something ourselves to develop status. These little princes are given status already. Normally, if I were to say something terrible to somebody, I might get slapped as a kid. If you're a little prince and you say something terrible to a kid, they will just laugh and say, "Oh, you're so funny," and not punish you at all. And so if you have hundreds of interactions like this as a little Chinese prince, it will mold you in a certain way. Not in a good way, a way where you don't get consequences. You should doing bad things, bad behavior. They call it affluenza. So this is where the downfall of those dynasties come because they don't have the hunger. And so I'm relating it back to my story, your story. Doesn't matter what your outcomes, your struggles, how you're coming up. You need to have some sort of hunger in you because it's a hunger that will push you forward. The hunger that will motivate you. Get the food, you'll be satiated, but it is the drive to do something that makes our life worthwhile. It really is talking about it's the journey, not the destination, that's important. So for yourself and me, it's important that even when we've accomplished a lot, we need to stay hungry, we need to have new goals and push ourselves forward. Because ultimately that's what's going to sculpt us to find